Hey, this is Corey from Wolfpack Woodcraft, and today I'm going to be talking about books and where I got a lot of my knowledge from, so stay tuned. Alright, so most of my knowledge came from YouTube, but a lot of it came from books too. And so in front of me I have some of my favorite books that I'd like to share with you guys. And the three that I find most valuable to me are the Peterson Guides. And so I live in the eastern woodlands, so I have eastern trees, edible wild plants and herbs, and medicinal plants and herbs. And so with these are little field guides that you take with you, and it's got really good pictures and stuff to help you in determining what plant you're looking at and what the benefits of it are. And so medicinal, edible, and then trees. And so that I can more familiar myself with the environment that I'm in, and in case of an emergency I'll always have food, medicine, and trees like the inner barks of willow is aspirin. And so knowing the trees and how to identify them and the different properties of them can help prolong a fire. It can help with whittling different things. So there's a lot to know about trees that can benefit you huge in different situations. So I like to have all three with me. Alright, and then another good read is the Bushcraft 101 by Canterbury. I did a separate review on this book, but there's not enough good things I can say about it. It's a really good starter book for bushcraft camping, and everything that I enjoy to do seems to be in this book, and that's why I like it so much. And then also I have this Survive and Thrive Wilderness Safety Skills book. It's a little kids book, and so it comes with animal flashcards, and it comes with venomous flashcards, but it's got a lot of good knowledge on it, and it's broken down in a little kid stuff. So if you have little kids, this is actually a really good book for them to go through and learn. And it's in like a plastic case, so it's somewhat waterproof, so they can take it out with them when they're out camping, and it'll just help get them more involved in what's going on and what you're doing. And so this is a really good kids book. Alright, now moving on. So another emergency books now, I guess. I like the Survival Handbook. The Survival Handbook, it's got a lot of really good graphics and knowledge about camping and what to do in an emergency out in the woods, and how to handle different predators. And there's a lot of good knowledge in here. When it's good pictures, I used to put this on my nightstand, and then every night before bed I just flip through it and find a cool picture, and then I'd read about it. And so it's a really nice book. The fact that it has really big pictures and graphics, so that it really catches your eye and it really helps you want to learn something new. So I really like that book as well. Another preparedness book is the Sas Survival Handbook. Now this has everything in it. It has a little bit of everything in it. And so it's a really good book to read, and it'll teach you how to track animals. There's edible plants and medicinal plants, navigation, camping. There's everything is in this book, but just in small portions. So what it allows you to do is it allows you to go through it, find the things that interest you the most. You'll learn a ton from this book, but you'll find stuff in here that you really want to learn more about, and then you can buy more specific books on those things so that you can better knowledge yourself and better equip yourself in case of an emergency. And then leading into that, I have Just in Case. I read this book. This is a really good book too. This is more of a homestead, emergency shelter, like it's got more like bugging out and bugging in, and what to do in case of different emergencies, and if the power goes out. And so this is more of a, it's not more at home rather than in the woods, but it's still one of my favorite books. And since I had the SAS handbook in here, I figured I'd throw this one in here too, because there's a lot of good knowledge in here that you can use at home. Alright, and then that leads to this book right here. This is the Ultimate Survival Medicine Guide. Now this book is it's a medical book, so it has first aid and everything. But this is a book about what would happen if there was no 911. Okay? So in case of a real emergency where there was no ambulance, there was no hospital, there was no nothing, it's just me or you, and you have to do something, this book is all about that. And so what I really enjoyed this book over others, because it really teaches you first aid and medical treatment. Okay, so most books, when you're reading, they just say, do this and seek medical help, right? Well, this takes it that next step and says, if there is no medical help, do this, okay, or do that. You know, so it's not get them stabilized until the ambulance shows up. It's get them stabilized and then do this to treat them so that they'll be okay, you know. So I really enjoy this book because it really takes you to that next step that most medical books don't. Most medical books, one of the first things you do is call 911 and you wait for an ambulance, where there is no 911 or ambulance in this book. So I really like it. It really taught me a lot about first aid and taking care of myself. And so this is just a range of books that I have read cover to cover, and I really enjoyed them, and so I thought I'd share them with you. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section. Make sure you leave your knowledge. If there's any good books that you've read, I'd love to read them too. And so leave the books that you've read or the knowledge that you've learned from books in the comment section as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and all that jazz. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and come join the pack. I'll have a new video every Sunday and Thursday, so I can't wait to see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.